What's up, everybody? I'm Sal Kalani. This is Reggie Steele.
Yes, and welcome to Spitballin. This is what we do.
My light looks very pink right now.
I got a lot of gray on right now. I got a lot of dark gray.
Dude.
Usually, I don't know if people have noticed this, but Sal and I, like unwittingly, color coordinate a lot of times. If you look, we'll actually be wearing similar colors without even trying. That's just how
I do notice. I like you got a different hat on. You've been wearing the same gray hat with the little leather thing in the middle. And there's a lot of videos in a row. Is that a Hurley? What is that?
Yeah, Hurley.
Oh, yeah, it's Hurley.
And my shirt is Hanson. I got on my can I call this white boy gear? Can I call it Hanson?
No, I don't think
surfer.
So. Oh, Hanson like the band?
Hanson like the surf gear, like the surf brand.
So I tweeted about this picture. Did you see this picture? This is Tyra Banks dressed up on Dancing with the Stars. And I said, why did Tyra Banks dress up as a dinosaur that ate Newman?
That's good. That's good. That is definitely
crazy,
dinosaur inspired. That's the one with the little thing.
Yeah, dude, he eats them on his way.
Newman.
Things work.
That's awesome, man.
So we got a guest today, huh? Oh, wait, before we get a guest, I want to say I left a comment on our YouTube because our most watched video by far is the Kevin Shea and Bobby Lee body slam.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And Kevin warned us about these Bobby Lee fans. So a lot of people don't like it, and
they didn't like the.
I don't. Well, a lot of the people are shitting. They'll shit on you and stuff, and like, haha, only 700 views and this and that, and
right.
And so this guy wrote, and this is like the third time I've heard the joke, so I finally replied.
Oh man, are you gonna tell me some
cool, Reg? No, I take the high road.
I was gonna say, wait, are you gonna tell me some negative shit that somebody said about us? I'm like,
well, yeah, this is what somebody said. They said, how does it feel that Bobby is a huge star and you can't get 50 subscribers?
That's a shot at. Wait, they're talking about us, or they're talking about?
Yeah, they're taking a shot. They even would share this video, and first off, huge stars. Debatable how you describe that, but anyway, my reply was, ha ha ha, ha, who cares? I was like, comedians don't get into comedy for subscribers. Just enjoy the stories in life. Don't obsess over stardom and followers. Thanks for watching. I gave the piece.
Nice. That's good, Sal. I can.
That's a high road, but
that's a high road,
dude. We didn't even know what fucking subscribers were when we started comedy. We don't give a,
Yeah, exactly.
That's not the point. Like, yeah, dude, it'd be nicer if it was bigger, but I ain't fucking obsessing over that shit. People are so into like their fame now.
Yeah, man.
15 minutes.
I mean, is it really fame? Is it fame?
I know, it's just social media garbage. It's just followers. And
dude, when we started,
gross,
your followers and subscribers were the people who signed your email lists after the show.
Right.
Like we had a clipboard. Like I can pull out clipboards right now with just emails on them. Right. They talk about subscribers. I can show you pieces of paper right now that I have with hundreds of names on them from people who are like, yo, you're funny. I want to let me know next time you do something. So damn that, man. Subscribers, whatever. People say whatever they want to say. I don't care. I'm like, I'm having a good time. And the people who watch us and like us, they like us. And that's good.
It, dog.
And the other thing is
generate material too, creative shit, which is part of the point.
And the other thing too is
interview our friends and meet our buddies.
Yeah, exactly. And hold up, let me address this too. So we do a show with Kevin Shea, who had an undesirable encounter with Bobby Lee, right? And someone that I've met. I've never worked with Bobby. Actually, I was on the show once, so I worked with Bobby, right? And got to hang out with Bobby. He was cool. It was fine. But we bring a guy on to tell us a story about his experience with Bobby, and then they take a shot at us.
Yeah,
dude. I mean, it don't make any sense. I'm like, yo,
people are fucking dicks in the dorky internet world, man. I'm like, nothing else going down.
Your dickness is misdirected. You gotta do something with your dickness.
It's little dick energy. All right, so let's
hold on. Can we address that real quick? Okay, all right, let's bring in. Hold on.
Yeah, man, he's busy, man.
Okay, all right. Well, we got to introduce him. All right,
go ahead.
So, I want to welcome everyone. Welcome one of our favorite comedians and people in the world, He's a good friend to both of us. We've known this guy for a long time. We both had the opportunity to work with him on the road and here in San Francisco and LA and other places. Welcome to the state. Welcome to the show. My man, Greg Edwards.
That was great timing. Look at
Yeah.
that.
What's up, G?
What's up, fellas?
What's going
Good to
on?
see y'all, man.
Hey, man, it's good to see
Chilling,
you.
man. You know.
Hey, hold on. I got to ask you this, right? We're going to get right into it real quick because Sal and I were just talking. He said something, and I want you to address it. All right? You ready?
Oh shit.
All right. So he mentioned something right before you came on because we were talking about someone who made a comment on one of our posts about Bobby Lee and Kevin Shea and this whole thing. And Sal said that the guy had little dick energy.
Who Bobby Lee got little dick energy?
No,
Look at this trouble you causing, Rich.
No, the guy who's hating on
made the
us
comment
because he was the guy who made the comment. So I was gonna ask you, what's the difference between little dick energy and big dick energy? Like, what do they look like? Like, what would be a comment from somebody with little dick energy and somebody with big dick energy?
Okay, I mean, I think big dick energy is like those big dogs that don't bark. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one. Yeah, that's funny.
Like big dogs, you know how little dogs, big dogs just be staring. Like I would need to bark, man. I'm a big dog. So big dogs got big dick energy. And little dogs always talking shit, always on Instagram.
Right, this right here.
Yeah.
Yapping,
little dick energy, always yapping, right?
Cake
Big-
fight.
big-
It's, it's like when you see two people about to fight and a dude is like taking off his shirt and just and then the dude is like, the dude that's quiet is like, oh shit, he's about to,
He about to fuck
tear him up. Yeah,
Hey,
that's
man.
big, that's scary, big dick energy.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean?
You were the perfect person to answer that. You answered it perfectly. I'm just gonna sum it up. Big dick energy is basically quiet and chill and reserved and confident, right? And little dick energy is over the top and hyper and just yapping away. That's it, man. That's perfect. That's what we do. So what's up, G?
Scrappy Doo.
Scrappy Doo.
Yeah, that's right.
It's little dick energy. Scrappy Doo.
That's
great.
Let me at him. Let me at him on the Get out of here.
Oh man, that's awesome.
That's why they say Trump was so crazy because in his hands, I saw his hands at the wax factory. They're small, dude.
Little hands.
Little hands.
Yeah.
Little hands. You
That's
know
what
what bothered
Stormy
me about,
Daniels said too.
you know
little
what bothered
dick
me about
energy.
Trump was that he kept doing this. He would do this all the time. His hands would always be out in front like this. Who does this all the time? Like, hey, how are you? Like,
Dude,
he would do this.
you got to, I mean, look, I'm not a Trump fan, but you got to give it to him. He finessed the country.
Oh man,
He finessed the world, man.
Dude, they talk about him being
He finessed less than half the idiots in America is what he did. He didn't get majority of the votes either election.
Dude, they called him. They say he might be the
It's a
greatest.
lot of people though, Sally.
It's too many.
It's true.
It's too many.
It's
It's
true.
too many.
But they talking about this dude might be the greatest con artist of all time. He conned his way
Totally.
into the White House
Yeah, it's still conning.
and still
Still
conning.
conning. It's so
conning.
yeah. We get it all day. Hey, I see you got your art back there. See, I got Jimi Hendrix back there. See right there.
Oh, I see that,
yeah.
Jimmy. I see that. Both of y'all got some of my art, man. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, man. I love y'all
man.
dudes, man.
Back at you.
Thanks,
so
Greg.
much.
Good to
Yeah,
see
Both
you.
of y'all, man.
Love you too, brother.
So much.
Is that Nina Simone?
I
over your shoulder?
wouldn't be me. That's Nina Simone.
Okay, okay,
let me
good.
say this, though.
Yeah.
I would not be who I am without both of you two. And that's
Oh,
for
man.
real.
Oh, dude, that's a
So-
huge compliment. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
'Cause
Thanks,
Y'all
Greg.
helped me get through my 20s, man, and my 30s.
Hey
Oh,
man,
man.
you same to you though, man. You've helped me through a lot of shit, Greg. So yeah, man, we go way back, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
We all do. So it's It's a
I
good
could
trio.
say, you know, the thing that I got from Greg the most that I always appreciated. I mean, I'm obviously older and I was around before or whatever. The thing that I've always appreciated about you, Greg, was you're so solid, bro. Like you're so solid, you're so confident, and
Thank you,
you're fearless on stage, man. Like I love watching you perform because you say how you feel, you mean what you say, you take chances, you don't pull any punches, you're smart and you're funny. And just sitting in the back, I've always admired that, because I've watched you with the sense of like, yo, I gotta let go more, right? Like I'm watching G kill it, and I gotta let go, right? Like, you know me, I'm polished and I keep it together and I'm in control, but there's still something you could feel that's being held back a little bit. Whereas with you, I feel like, yo, G just let it all hang out. And I've always admired that, man. I love that about you.
That's a strength though, Reggie. That's a strength how you you know, you're a fucking male model up there. You know what I mean? You telling jokes. Got your jokes. I mean, but it's like you said, you keep it together, you compose. Like Reggie can do everything. When Reggie gets a gig, I'm like, of course Reggie got that gig. You know, it's like, yeah, Reggie can work clean. Reggie can work dirty if he wants to.
Right.
You know, Reggie can play a school principal. Reggie can play a drug dealer if he wants to. You know,
he's very versatile.
Sorry.
I appreciate it, bro.
And whenever Greg gets off the stage, or not Greg, whenever Reggie gets off the stage, Greg and I would just sit there on the side and just see all the people flock around Reggie.
Look at
man, if I was lighter, you guys, if I was lighter, you see me blushing right now. So my cheeks is hot.
I see your cheeks turning burgundy.
Burgundy.
They turning burgundy, bro. So, no, man, I appreciate you guys.
Got them wine cheeks.
Hey, you know what? I would start dancing, but you know, I don't want you to get on me. You know, Reg on shoulders.
No, don't be dancing, Reggie.
He does that like every other episode. He does that.
He on shoulders, Reg.
He's shouldering and flexing.
Dude, I use that every chance I get. I use that every chance I get. Man, when I start dancing, I'm like, man, my boy Greg Ellis said I'm on shoulders.
Reggie too strong to be dancing. It's like watching Shaquille O'Neal dance. It's like, man, sit your big ass down.
You're killing me right now. Oh man, this is awesome. All right. He said, you know what? I gotta give Kasim Bentley props on this one too, because you said I'm too big to be dancing. Kasim Bentley said one time in the green room, he said, man, Red, you so big, you look like you can't read. I was like, what? He said, you so big, you look like you can't read. Joke. Dude, how big is that? I'm like, that's NFL big. Ain't that big?
That's a Kasim joke, right?
Kasim joke, right? So, all right, man. So that's Greg, man, we're so excited to have you, brother. We've been talking about you for a long time, and so it's good to be here. Good to have you here, man. We really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us. So let's start at the beginning, man. Let's start at the beginning. We know this, but this is for the listeners and viewers. So where you from, man? Where'd you grow up?
I'm originally from Hampton, Newport News, Virginia. Okay. It's a small southern town in Southern Virginia. It's mostly military, churches, small town. Everybody that graduates from high school either goes into the military or works at the shipyard where they build warships for the military.
Oh, wow. Was anybody in your family in the military, or which way did?
Oh, everybody. My dad was in the military. All of my mother's siblings were in the military. Her father was in the military. My mom was born in Okinawa.
Wow.
So most of my family's in the military. It's my dad's side, not so much. His older generation, like his grandfather was in the military and uncles and stuff, but none of my dad's siblings were in the military, just my dad. My dad was in the Navy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For many years. I guess he did about 5-7 years in the Navy.
Okay, then, so he did his tour then.
Hey, what's the name of your town, dude? It's like a whole full name.
Oh, it's Hampton, Virginia, but the neighboring city is called Newport News, Virginia.
Newport News. Okay. Can you ask?
And I live. I lived in both cities.
Okay. I got a question for you. You know, obviously I'm from Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Which is the South. It always kind of confused me that Virginia is considered the South when Virginia is so far north, right? Like Virginia is above, it's higher than North Carolina. Like it's right next to what, Philadelphia?
Yeah, DC, everything.
DC,
yeah.
DC, yeah.
But but where's Newport News? More on the west, southwest of the state.
Virginia is like, right at the bottom, right next to North Carolina.
Okay.
I think it's the cutoff. I think like Virginia is the cutoff for the North and South. And it has that flavor of both, them Northern New Yorkers and Baltimore and DC. And it has that South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, Alabama flavor too.
Okay. Okay. Let me ask you this. Considering you just said your family a lot of them was military, right? And we don't have to get deep into this, but I'm just curious. A lot of times, military people tend to lean to the right politically. Like, have you discovered that to be true for your family? And if it is, have you encountered that, or what's, because Sal and I talk about his, and his family, that pushback sometimes.
I mean, my family's weird, man, because most of them are Democrats, but we do have like some Black Republicans up in my family too. Oh yeah, man. Mostly
you gotta take care of that, Greg.
I mean, it's all like these cats. It's like, oh man, I'm from North Carolina. I done pulled myself from the mud, and I feel like everybody else need to do the same thing. I'm not wasting my money on people that's out there not doing shit to better themselves. It's that type of philosophy.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. Yeah, I've heard that many times.
Doesn't that sound like, to me, that sounds like no compassion, right?
And scapegoating. And you're taking a small minority of a situation and you're making that's what it is for everybody.
Right.
It's like,
and you're not taking into account people's individual experiences, right? Like, everybody always talking about they pull themselves up by their bootstraps, but hey man, a lot of people ain't got boots. Right? Like, how you gonna tell somebody to pull themselves up out the muck and mire when they ain't got shoes, right? They ain't got no left. They got nothing working. Everything is working against them. Go ahead.
But on the other hand, there are people that got boots.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're absolutely correct.
Hey, so how come? Tell us again now. How come you never got in the military?
Oh,
being in a military town.
Well, actually, wait. Go back even before that. You said, because you were talking about having different family members and different views, and you can't change them. Some of them are too old.
Yeah. I got some uncles that's like my father's uncles. Most of them have passed away now, but man, they old from North Carolina. They are from the dirt, and they have done well for the.
Hey, hold on. They're Black Republicans. They didn't vote for Obama.
No, I think they voted for Obama.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I'm sure they probably voted for Obama.
I was gonna say, man, you can't be a Black person with the opportunity to vote for the first Black president and not do it. Like, that just seems, even if you was Libertarian, Green Party, Republican, you like, look, this just don't even feel right. Like, I gotta vote for this dude.
And they also they go back and forth. They're not they're more like independents.
See, that's interesting. So they don't necessarily have one party affiliation where this is where they go. They're like, I'm voting for whoever I like.
They vote for whoever. And mostly it's fiscal. They mostly vote for like money shit. It's like, who gonna tax me the most? Who gonna take the most money out of my pocket?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
It's about that money, huh?
It's always about the money in America.
It's about the money, man. It's always about the money.
Okay, so I feel like Greg didn't join the military the same reason I didn't, because he didn't like people telling him what to do.
Oh, hell no, man. I'm too defiant for that, man. I'll be getting beat up all the time.
Well, and plus, when you're from the South, man, like, in the South, the mentality is, look, at least for me, from where I grew up, it was really on some, yo, man, the military is no place for a Black man, right? Like, that was like a common theme that was told to us. It's like, look at us. They send us over there to fight on the front. They put us on the front lines, and then they bring us back, and they don't have, we're not accepted. We can't find jobs. You know what I mean? It's like, you looked at everybody who came home from Vietnam, right?
Yeah.
Right. Like, there was a lot of poverty within the Black community of guys that went to go serve, and then they, came back hooked on on, you know, whatever drugs, you know what I mean? So
Oh yeah.
it was that was the theme. It was just like, yo, this ain't for you.
I always looked at the military as like a last option. You know, like if I got a girl pregnant or something and I didn't have a good money situation going on when I was back in Virginia, I'll go into the military. You know, if like it was always like a last thing. If something, if I did something wrong and I needed to take care of something, usually it was a baby. Real. If I got a girl pregnant, I was like, I'm going to the military.
How many times have I heard this story? This is legitimate too. It's like, man, I got to that point, dog. I graduated from high school. You know, your boy was out in them streets getting in trouble, and they was like, man, look, you can go to jail or the military. Yeah. And I was like, yo, I'm about to go to this military. It was the best decision I ever made in my life, bro.
It works out. I mean, I got a lot of friends that it worked out for them. You know, I got a lot of homies that in the military. You know, one of my first cousins, who I've had a great relationship my whole life, retired military. So many homies.
Oh wow.
Military. But you know, thank God I started acting and I got like a ticket out of VA. And,
see, that's okay. Before you get there, that was gonna be my next question. Was if you came from a family that had a military background, right? Mm-hmm. You're in the South, or you're in Virginia, where it was either military or going into clergy, right? Like into the priest. Yeah. Going into the what is it? Theology, right?
Yeah.
Or working on the docks.
Yeah.
Right. So where and when did you discover, yo, I ain't trying to do none of that. I'm trying to act. I'm trying to be an artist. Like how early did that start for you?
Well, I always knew I could like it started off, I was like, all right, I can play basketball, right? And then I got to high school and I was like, too short for basketball. Too short, too stocky for basketball. Let me play football.
I mean, look, I played Greg in basketball, and he's right. He basketball ain't his thing.
I was nice. But all right, so I was like, all right, let me play football. Then I started getting good at football. And I was like, oh, I could go to college off of football. My whole thing was like, I gotta get out of Virginia. So
yeah, that's how I was with Cleveland, dude.
I gotta get out of here.
So what was it? What did you feel like you had to get away from?
I just like the thinking, you know, like you know, I love the people I grew up with, but there was like always a ceiling for everybody. And there was always
don't you feel like kind of like
closed in?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I just thought, it was like, man, these are great people, but why everybody at like 30 looks like they 50?
Yes.
Yeah. Hard life, hard living.
It's like, what's going on? And then I would see like, I would look at New York. You know, I was always like on TV and stuff, and I fantasized about New York and I fantasized about California, and it just looked like people were more free, their lives were more open. They can do different things. You know, beautiful. You know, different girls. You know, different cultures.
Right.
And I looked at my life in Virginia as very, very limited. Even though it was beautiful and I liked the people, it was just, I'm gonna just be here forever.
Forever, that's a long time.
Right.
I can't do this. And I just saw the trap. I just saw the trap that everybody else is getting caught up in. You get with some girl and you end up having 3 kids and you're just there forever. You're fat, you're old, and you go to church, and that's it. And you die.
And then you die.
That's it.
Oh, Greg, you just described so many people's lives that they never even heard their lives described that way into this moment right here. They like, hey, that's my shit right now.
You eat and drink.
And you noticed that or recognized that in high school?
I recognized it like middle school, like 7th, 8th grade. And after 8th grade, I was like, I have to either get to New York or get to California. And I didn't even care where in California.
Right.
I just needed to get to California or New York.
And this is based off the images you saw on television. You like, it gave you access to
where he grew up. Oh yeah.
Just the images I saw, like MTV and Ocean Pacific. I really liked the clothing brand Ocean Pacific as a kid. And I was
Me.
like, oh man, you know, these guys surfing, maybe I can surf. You know, I just
Oh.
like, I just wanted to be free, man. And like, I just wanted to like, you know, do whatever I wanted to do.
Man, you sound like a different type of dude, right?
Yeah,
and I say that, yeah, like you, as a guy who grew up in the South and had friends and still have tons of friends in the South, your mentality, right? Like even that right there, like in Ocean Pacific, right? Right. And saying, man, maybe I can surf. Like you're not bound by those same mental chains that Black people put themselves, as far as like, man, skateboard, Black people don't skateboard, swim, Black people don't swim, surf, Black people don't surf. You know what I mean? Like our community has a tendency of limiting ourselves, right? Just based on some, you know, I don't see many people that look like me doing that. So that, I guess we don't do that, but apparently you didn't have that. So
my friends, I mean, you know, like in high school, my friends started like kind of taking care of me a little bit. Like they knew I was a little, not weird, but they knew that
eccentric, different.
Yeah, they knew I was just different. And like you know, I didn't dress the same way everybody else dressed, but I did, but I didn't, you know. They just, you know, I had a buddy, I had a good friend of mine, this guy named William Perry. This dude named, we call him Bumble, right?
The fridge?
And he was big too. And you know, I was in high school, I would beef with my parents about curfew, right? Because I got to be home by midnight. And sometimes I would get mad and I would stay with my boy Bumble, right? And stay at his house. And Bumble and a couple of guys would go out at night and like steal stereo equipment for cars and stuff and whatnot, right?
Okay.
And but they would wait till they would always wait till I fell asleep to go do that. And one time I saw them up and I was like, where y'all going? He was like, Greg, stay here.
Right. Go back to sleep, bro. You got a future. Right?
Yeah, you know what I mean? And like, you know, I always appreciated them for like not like
pulling you into that, I guess.
Yeah, not trying to involve me in certain things. And I mean, I did theater in high school. You know what I'm saying?
You know, Greg, that's an interesting story, because we've heard that story with a lot of successful athletes, right? Who grew up in low income areas that had a hard time, where they were like, you know, the OGs in the community, they was always like, you know, they may recruit some other kids to run packets for them, right? Or to deliver stuff. But they, you know, they always had that story of like, yo, man, OG was like, nah, young buck, this ain't for you, bro.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Deion Sanders
out.
just posted something about that recently, about that exact thing, how the OGs looked out for the talented ones.
Well, and it's needed. And luckily for Greg, it wasn't necessarily older people, but it was his peers, right? And your peers have a huge impact on you at certain times in your life, right? Yeah. So to have your peers look at you and say, nah, man, this ain't for you. You got something else that you got to do, right? You need to be somewhere else. You don't need to be doing this. Like that's extra special, man. It really speaks to the idea that it takes a community, right? Even if it's an impoverished community and people are doing whatever they got to do to survive, even within that, there are still people who are like, nah, man, there's something else, right?
Yeah, man, I always appreciate the fellas for just, and not just that, just not picking on me for certain things. I mean, I got picked on, but not when I got older, for not messing with me about certain stuff. Kind of looking at it as like, oh man, Greg gonna go somewhere. You know what I mean? Greg gonna get out of here, dog. And like, I mean, when I had the opportunity to when I moved to Oakland, man, it was so hard, man. Everybody was just like, man, you need to stay here.
It's their own shit.
Oh man, it was so, and it didn't get to me till like the last month. The last month before I went, it started like messing with me. Everybody's like, oh man, you're gonna get robbed out there. Who you know in Oakland? You moving to Oakland? Who you know out there?
Right.
Man, you're gonna be right. You know, it was just a lot of like, you know, everybody was scared for me. My parents were just, you know, it's just a lot. I'm so glad I left, but
well, it sounds to me like they were putting their insecurities on you.
Of course, yeah, of course.
Right.
Hey, before we get to you moving to Oakland, how did you get into theater in high school?
Yeah, and then segue that into how you got to Oakland. Like, what was the opportunity that got you to Oakland?
Well, I mean, like, okay, I had a buddy named Mark Bowens, and Mark Bowens, I met Mark in 5th grade. Mark had a full-grown goatee in 5th grade, right? Man, this is a man, right?
Right.
And in middle school, I remember I was at home and I saw a commercial, and Mark was on TV doing like a community theater play in Norfolk called Beauty and the Beast, right? And Mark did this roar. And like I saw Mark like maybe a week or two later, and I was like, "Yo, man, you acting?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, I've been acting for a couple of years. I'm doing this theater play." And I was like, "That's dope, yo." And then he showed me like some certain things, scripts and like monologues and stuff. And he was like, "You should start doing it, man." And so I started doing like church plays, and I started doing like community theater and stuff like that. And I did my first play in high school.
What play did you do in high school?
I did Fame in high school.
Oh, wait, didn't you post a picture from that recently?
I did post a picture from that recently.
Yeah. Yo,
I
Sal,
played
you got to,
Leroy in Fame.
You got to snag that. Yeah, snag that picture. We'll put that up at that time. You know,
and it all started like not snowballing from there, but you know, I started taking it seriously then. And then after I graduated from high school, I was supposed to go to school, but I ended up tearing my ACL, and I couldn't go to school, and I had to be home.
You were going to go to school like to play football?
I was going to Virginia State to play football.
Okay.
Which is crazy too, like a football player, linebacker, I believe, and then you're also in theater.
Mm-hmm.
Right. and Virginia State, that a HBCU?
It's an HBCU.
Okay, and they D2, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And,
so was it gonna be a full scholarship or a partial, or what were they gonna do?
Oh, partial.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say the HBCUs, they have a financially they just don't have that.
No, I'm not getting that much money. And I was going, got hurt, and I remember seeing my coach, my high school coach, because I went to one of the high school games after I got hurt. He was like, "Man, I gave that coach so much information about you. Why you ain't?" And then he saw my leg, and he was like, "Oh man." He just looked at me. He was like, "Oh man," because he knew like I wanted to get out.
Right.
He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and I was like, "Man, it was the most depressed I've ever been in my life."
Wow.
But I got my leg healed. I ended up going to a community college, and I just started doing more community theater. And I got hooked up with this mystery dinner playhouse up in Williamsburg, Virginia. And I started doing theater up there, making money. And I ended up meeting this dude who was basically the director of theater at Cal State Stanislaus. And he saw me acting at that theater, and he offered me a scholarship to Cal State Stanislaus.
Wow,
And,
okay.
But I had to be in California for a year to gain residency, so I wouldn't have to pay all those out-of-state fees and everything. So I ended up getting this. He was starting to give me like audition material for jobs, acting jobs out in Oakland. I ended up auditioning for Kaiser Permanente's educational theater program. First time on a plane, flew out to Oakland, auditioned, got the job, came back home, and just, stacked my bread and moved to Oakland.
I love this. Because that's just a testament to the talent, right? Like to the skill set and being in the right place at the right time, doing the right
place, right time, work ethic, and being nice, man. I always tell people all the time, man, stop. Everybody be beefing with people. I'm like, be nice, man.
Dude,
what you beefing for?
Oh my God! Look, I'm always full of some like little sayings, right? Like I used to read them a lot as a kid. They helped me get through times. But this one's very appropriate in the sense of you get a lot more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. Right?
It's true.
Or you get more flies with honey than vinegar, whatever.
More sugar than with salt.
You Southern folk, you.
Seriously, man. It's like those little quotes, man. What's the other one? I have another one. It's following the path of least resistance is what leads to rivers and streams being crooked.
Yep.
Right? Like it's always just trying to go where things are easy. Sometimes you got to blaze your own path, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Right.
Hey, you know who Greg played against in high school football?
Oh yeah.
Who's that?
Michael Vick.
The homie. Oh yeah, that's the homie, man. The homie Vick, man. Oh, you know, I'm so glad. Anytime I see him, he's from Newport News. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So your team would crush his team, or was it a different team?
We destroy him. Yeah. It ain't even. Yeah. The Vic was second fiddle. Vic was like, it was my quarterback, who's Ronald Curry, who is the wide receiver coach for the Saints now.
Okay.
He used to play for the Raiders. He used to be a wide receiver for the Raiders.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember that name. Okay.
He was my. I mean, this dude was Mr. Everything, man. He was #1 basketball, Gatorade All-American, #1 in basketball and football. His senior year in high school.
Wow, that sounds like LeBron.
I mean, look, man, the girls this dude used to get. Wow, next level. I was like, this dude, yeah. But
where did he go to college at? Did he go to North Carolina?
Yeah, he went to UNC.
Yeah, I thought. And he played hoop there too, right?
He played ball freshman year, and then I mean, you know, it was just a lot for him. But yeah, he was the #1 dude, and Vic was #2. But Vic just blew past him in college.
Okay.
And, yeah, but he had a great career.
I mean, when you played against Vic, was he that, like, I mean, he was still that fast and stuff, right?
Oh, Vic was fast, and he had this dude named Andre, who was his wide receiver. That was awesome. But, you know, that was just, our team was like just stacked with athletes and like crazy. We were.
So if you sacked him, you sack him and then talk shit in his ear.
I got it on video. Me sacking Vic.
Oh, nice.
But no, I didn't talk shit to Vic when I said it. Nah,
that's the last thing you do with somebody who's good is talk shit to him.
Vic's the homie too. Like, nah. Vic's bad. When Vic got in trouble, I felt so bad for him because that's not even him, dog. He got caught. He really got caught up. Vic is quiet. He's the big dick energy dude. He's quiet. He's quiet, super quiet, handsome. You know, I mean, tall, dark, and handsome. And can run a 4.3. You know what I mean? And it got a bullet. And from the hood, but not a hood. You know, ain't from the hood, but he just trying to play ball. You know what I mean? And from the hood too. Ooh,
okay.
The projects is that sweet where you from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
like you got to know somebody to get in them projects, like, or you got to be invited in.
Those are projects that are by. There's like a coal mining area in Virginia. Not mining. I guess they are mining, but it's right beside. His projects are right beside that coal mining place. So like, if you put your clothes on the line,
they're gonna be just black, covered
in soot.
Yeah, it's that area. So yeah, man. His little brother was the asshole.
He was the one that was running the ring, right? When his brother involved?
No, I mean his family and brother, but you know, I mean, it's not even his brother's fault. Marcus was driving a Benz to high school. I mean, what you expect? Coming from the projects, and then that, it's like he ain't have a chance, man.
Yeah, he didn't have a chance.
All right, so how do you go from theater in Oakland to stand up? Because that's I think where we met him, right?
Well, actually, what I want to know is because you came out for the year to establish residency and then to go to Stanislaus. Mm-hmm. But did you ever go to Stanislaus?
I didn't go to Stanislaus.
That's what I was gonna say, because I remember Stanislaus being in the mix.
I got out there and
he was like, damn,
I was living, I had this job, and I started doing comedy too, and I just kept the job and started doing stand-up. And I was like, you know, if I go to Stanislaus, I'm gonna lose all this momentum that I got going, or just trying to do stuff. And like, I just said, no, I'm gonna just keep doing this. And people in my family was like, what are you doing, man? You're messing up a scholarship opportunity. And I was like, but this is a bigger thing that I got going. This is another thing, like my parents being scared of me and my family members being scared of me and everything. But
well, you know what else? I think this also speaks to what I said earlier about you being solid, right? Being solid and being true to who you are, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And having that fearlessness, because I think the not the easy thing, but the scholarship is security, right?
True indeed.
It's security to go to school, to have it be paid for on some level.
For acting though.
Yeah, but still though, even still, just in an institution where you're having some resources taken care of for you on some level, right? Like there's a level of security that comes with that. And in order to turn that down is to also say, I'm willing to not go that route to do something else that I really want to do, which a lot of people don't have that ability sometimes. So how did comedy come into the mix? Because I know acting is one thing, theater is one thing, but comedy is a totally different beast. You go from a script to like your own script.
Thespian to stand-up.
I always wanted to do stand-up. As a kid, my favorite, like I would go to my cousin's house and I would watch Eddie Murphy. I would watch a lot of Gallagher. Gallagher was my favorite.
Smashing Fruit.
Oh man, I fucking loved it.
Here comes the hammer.
Oh man, I loved how he had the I love how he captivated the audience. You know, I mean, he was smashing fruit, which is gimmicky as all hell.
Right.
But
he had other skills too.
He had jokes too within that. You know, he had political jokes within that. The look, you know what I mean?
You know, Gallagher he don't get enough credit for that because it's like the fruit smashing is so big that it actually eclipsed all the other stuff. But he did the fruit smashing only came at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Right. So he would do all that time beforehand, which, you know, he had to fill it up with something. So, you know.
No, those are my dudes. I mean, it started off with Eddie and Gallagher, and then it moved to like Robin Williams and who did I really like when I was a kid? AJ Jamal. I really loved AJ Jamal for some reason.
Oh, wow.
Of course,
Rest
Chris
in peace
Rock.
to him.
No, AJ Jamal still alive?
Oh, you know who I'm thinking about?
AJ Johnson.
I'm thinking about AJ Johnson. So you got to cut that out.
Oh, that's funny.
I didn't RIP the wrong
that's
AJ.
You gotta cut that out.
AJ Jamal. Oh yeah, I know AJ Jamal. He's a funny dude.
Jamal. Yeah. He was a man back in the day. He's young
yeah.
and fresh back in the day. And so I mean, I remember when You So Crazy came out, and I got the tape, and I used to listen to the tape of that. And
but that's Martin Lawrence, right? You So Crazy. Yeah, Martin Lawrence first one.
Yeah, man, I was loving it.
So listen to this, Sal. Listen to these influences. Eddie Murphy, Gallagher.
Yeah, I know.
That's like polar opposites, right?
Oh,
polar opposites. And then you bring up AJ Jamal and you bring up Robin Williams. Robin Williams is organized confusion. He's high speed, rapid pace, right?
Right.
AJ Jamal is not methodical, but he's funny and he's how do I say he's not high strung like that. Right? Right. But just really creative and funny. And who else did you throw out in there?
Chris Rock.
And then Chris Rock. Now you got
Rock was like when I got the Rock, that's when I was like, oh, this is it. This is my dude that I'm a pattern everything after this dude.
Right.
And it was him for a while, and then Chappelle, and then it was like, okay, I gotta figure out a way, because when I first started, I was just trying to be Rock. I was really just trying to be Rock when I first started. I mean, the pacing, I didn't have jokes either. It was just terrible.
All premises.
You started.
Where'd
you start in Oakland?
No. I when I first started, I would just go over to San Francisco. My first open mic was at the Java Source.
Oh,
Clement. Yeah,
on Clement Street. And who did I see? First open mic, I saw Edwin Lee, Tony, and Tony
Sparks.
Tony's running partner, that dude named Greg. I forgot Greg's last name, but he had a running partner he used to do it with Greg. And then we'll go to Mike's like maybe once a month. And then I saw Jasper. I saw Jasper. And I was just like, okay, all right. This is it, I haven't talked to Jasper in a while, but when I was talking to Jasper, I always let Jasper know. I was like, dog, if I didn't see you, I would not be doing any of this. You were my inspiration.
Wow.
I would see this dude coming from Tennessee, his own style. I mean, me and Brent was talking about this the other day. It was like, yo, like 2004 Jasper.
Yeah.
It's probably, Brent said, that's my favorite comic of all time. 2002.
Hey, dude. I mean,
it's funny.
Yo, if you go back to our very first podcast, we talk about Jasper Red. Even go through some of his jokes. And what you're saying right now, I mean, that's so huge because Jasper, he had a cadence, he had a timing, a delivery, a style, his jokes, the structure of his jokes, the direction. It was, I remember that whole thing. I remember when he showed up, I remember me, Kamal, Kevin Avery, all of us, we'd be in the green room hanging out, talking on some stuff. And then, you know, Jasper come on stage, or, you know, you just like, everybody came out and was like, you had to watch because
this dude, I remember taking one of my friends to like a mic, and I was like, oh, let's go to the show. And we saw Jasper. And then my friends was like, yo, who is this dude? My friends was like, who is this guy? But yeah, man, Jasper was like my one of those other things, like one of those notches that was like, yo, if this dude can do it, and
the way he
come
does
from
it
Tennessee,
too.
and the way he did it, and have his own thing, you press hard and do it too. And that's when I started going, like, I stopped the once a month shit and was like, fuck it, man, I'm just gonna be out in the city paying that toll every day.
All right, you gotta cross that damn bridge. That's right.
Every day. And I just started grinding. And I met y'all, you know, I met you.
Yeah, I don't even remember where did I meet you first? I don't remember.
I don't know. I think
probably Seabiscuit.
Seabiscuit, probably, yeah.
Yeah, I was running that.
The Punchline.
Because I met Kevin at Seabiscuit. I met Avery when the week that he was doing those, he was featuring for Cat Williams. And, and he had those horrible weeks of featuring for Cat Williams. I still bring that up to him to this day.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I forgot about that because I just talked to him the other day. And I'm telling you right now, next time I talk to him, when I say I'm bringing that up, bro,
hey, don't we have him on the podcast next?
He's coming up. Yeah, he's coming up. We got him.
I met him at Seabiscuit, and I think you three was there. Maybe Kamal was there too, but I remember Kevin's just like, yeah, I got a feature for Cat Williams, and I'm dreading it, man. I just know it's gonna be, I know it's gonna be bad. And I was just like, you know, I'm fresh. I was like, oh man, that's gonna be dope. Cat Williams is big. He's like, your audience. I was like, yeah, you kind of, you don't fit with him, but you'll be fine, man. And then Kevin was like, no, man, it's gonna be hard.
Oh man, I'm telling you right now, yo, that's Cat Williams and Kevin Avery. I almost feel like whoever put that together was like being mean, and that was Tom Sawyer probably.
Yeah, probably was Tom
Sawyer.
Yeah,
because I can't imagine Molly doing that. Molly would not do that to.
No, he wasn't. I think he was at Tommy T's.
Oh, that's even worse. So that's Tommy.
Yeah, that's okay.
So Tommy's even worse. Tommy's just like, oh, here's a black dude. Oh, here's another black dude. We just put them together, not taking into account that one dude is from like the hood of Oakland and wherever, St. Louis, and the other guy's from San Jose who went to private school. Right?
I remember I ran into Kevin.
His rapping nickname was Golden Graham.
I ran into Kevin like maybe a week or two after that, and he was like, "Oh, Greg, yeah, I remember you, man." I was like, "How'd it work out with Cat Williams?" And he was like, "Oh, it was absolutely terrible." Like, I got booed. You know, yeah. So yeah, man, it's been. I mean, after I started taking it seriously, it was great, man. I met so many of my friends who I'm friends with to this day.
Right.
Ali. I mean, I don't talk to Ali, but young Ali Wong,
right,
Chris Garcia, Brent Weinbach, Moshe, Urban Moshe.
Yo, man, you guys.
All I do is riffing.
Dude, you guys' era, right? Like that era right there of everyone you named. You guys came in. I remember watching you guys come in. You guys came in with so much energy. Like everybody was unique in a certain way. But I remember at one point, I felt like Moshe was trying to do his best Louis Katz impersonation.
Yeah, totally.
Right? Yeah, he was trying to do his best Louis Katz, and then eventually he kind of found his thing and got it going. Mm-hmm. Mo Mandel was in there somewhere too.
Oh, Mo. Everybody hated Mo.
Everybody hated, but Mo was focused, man. And
Mo's so focused.
I always had this funny. There's always this funny night. I remember Sunday night at the Punchline. and Mo Mandel was trying to rock his orange vest. Like that was his new thing, like this little orange vest, and people would call him Marty McFly and shit. So he went to the green room and he hung it up after his set. And then Moshe goes on stage a little bit later with his jacket all buttoned up, and he in the middle of a set, he's like, "Oh, it's hot in here." And he takes it off, and he's got the orange vest on. And the crowd's going crazy. And Mo's like, "Wait, where the hell's my vest?"
Oh man.
Well,
Fucking
Mo was so focused, man, that sometimes, and I've seen this with people, like I told this story recently about Tiffany Haddish. Like the first time I met her and was around her was in the belly room in the Comedy Store in LA on a Montreal callback. And if you, based on just how she was carrying herself at that moment, you would feel like, yo, man, she's kind of mean. Like she ain't really nice. She kind of rude. But in retrospect, what it was that she was so focused on what she was doing. Like her gaze was set past us, right? Like the rest of us were, yeah, exactly. She's like, I'm not trying to be mean, but I ain't got time to like find out what your name is and who you are, where you're from. Like I'm focused on trying to get this set done so I can get to this next level, right? Yeah. And so sometimes that energy can be taken the wrong way.
Oh,
right?
totally.
Right.
No, I mean, I remember Mo, because Mo would take me to Pepper Bellies sometimes. And
Pepper Bellies.
And Mo was like, Mo would be like, yo, man, why people don't like me? Oh man, I hope it's not me. And I would tell Mo, I was like, well, you kind of, I mean, I don't know, you kind of off-putting sometimes. Yeah. And you're also good. And
I'm sure you like that.
And you don't really need anybody. And people kind of are, people wish they had what you have in you.
Right. And, it can be intimidating a little bit too.
Yeah.
No, that was legit.
There's always haters in the comedy world. Right. And as you get older, you care less and less about it, I feel.
And look at Mo now. Mo's crushing it. You know?
Yeah,
Mo, he actually recommended me. I headlined in Portland a couple years ago, and it was off of his recommendation.
Dude, whenever Mo comes to town, I always go see Mo. Yeah. I always, we hang out just at the club or whatever. And I've always liked Mo because he wasn't necessarily my group. Yeah. But since I was able to witness him and we was around each other at the same time, there's just a level of mutual respect, right, and admiration. And that's what I was going to say about you guys as a group, because you throw out Ali Wong, who's done her thing, Chris Garcia, who's going to do his thing, Moshe Kasher, who's done his, you currently doing yours. Who else is in that group? Mo Mandel, like Jasper. You guys can't. Oh, even you can throw out Ryan Stout, but Ryan might be a little bit before you. As far as with Weinbach,
Chris Tinkle, Louis Katz.
Louis Katz. Yeah. So you guys, I remember you guys came in, man, and there was a lot going on comedically within the community, but also nationally, as far as like agents and shows and social media was starting to happen a little bit, or like not social media, but online things as far as videos. And so you guys came in with a focus. I remember Ali Wong and Chris Garcia putting together their shows, right?
Rice and Beans.
Comedy, and then Moshe kind of, developing his thing. And, Mo was obviously really, really focused on what he was trying to do. So you guys came in with this success, like this mindset of creating, your own opportunities, right? And being focused on a certain level, man. It was really impressive to watch. I want to ask you this before I forget, because I think this is a really big question. Why do you do stand-up? What is your reasoning? What is it you're trying to accomplish? Like for yourself and for others, whatever.
For myself and for others. Good question, man. I think it's like the best way for me to get something real off my chest. It's like
to express yourself.
I'll be walking around in this world and I'll see things that I don't necessarily like, and I want to talk about it, and I just can't rant about it. I got to make it funny so people can understand and feel what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And it's nothing better than getting something off your chest and other people agreeing with you in laughter, or seeing what you're saying in laughter. Right. So that's why I keep doing it. And that's why, these last couple months, sometimes I find myself at shows and it's like not even jokes I'm writing. It's just me just not yelling at the audience, but I'm just like, just I'm just getting it out. And it's funny that I've been doing it so long that I don't have to like write the joke. I can just say it and talk about how I feel and how I need it and put it in like threes so it can be catered properly to them.
Right. Well, you're a funny guy.
Yeah, it's
right?
me just yelling at the audience about TikTok.
That's funny.
It's just like, and calling them losers. And,
so
all them losers.
I know, that's awesome. So let me get this right. So ultimately, stand-up is about it provides you a platform to just express yourself, right? Like to get off your chest what you're seeing in the world, right? Like being able to have a place to almost vent your frustrations about what you see, right? And then do it comedically and get that approval from other people that on some level may agree with you or may not agree with you, but present in a way where they can enjoy it too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not looking for people to agree with me. I just want to get my point across.
So you're not looking for approval. I like that.
Nah.
Because a lot of comics, man, the moment the audience ain't with them, what it turn, man, I'm throwing a name out there. Justin Scales used to always be like, laugh it up, motherfucker. I need this shit.
I like it when they don't agree with me.
Now you sound like Patrice O'Neal now.
At this point, I'm just like, this is how I feel about the social media. Right. And you guys are caught up in it. You're addicted to it. It's your sugar. It's your cocaine. And you need to get off. Nice. I want people to hear what I'm saying, but if you don't feel it, if you don't agree, cool. But you heard what I said.
Right. And laugh if you want to.
If you want to.
If you
don't, that's fine too. I can be in a room quiet. I've had enough laughter at this point.
Oh,
I don't need you to laugh all the time.
Dude, that's beautiful, right?
What am I? Who what? Yeah, I got a wife. I don't need y'all.
That level of confidence, right?
Before we let him go, he's gonna have to go, I guess. But
shucks. Okay. Because
art. Greg's great at art. We love his art. The Red Line series is amazing. I need some more 8x10s for my trivia nights.
I got you, man. I got you. I'm pushing out some new shit, man. So
what are you working on? What are you working on?
Well, hold up, Kim. Before he does that, before you go there, how much time you got, Greg? Before you got to go?
Oh, I got time, man. I can go for a little bit.
All right. So it's two questions. I mean, I want to get back to Sal's, but I want to ask you with the Red Line series, right? With the map and the redlining, and then the images superimposed over it. What message are you trying to convey with that series? What exactly is it?
With the series, with the Red Line series, I was just trying to get like a message point of a point of view about race in America, and also just like neighborhoods. I hate when people like drive through like a shitty neighborhood and they're like, man, these people don't care about their neighborhoods. It's like, why does this neighborhood look like this? And I'm like, well, historically, this country shitted on this neighborhood. So I wanted to just inform people in a way that they can see it and understand it a little bit better. And I found the maps first, and I sat on the maps for a while. I screenshotted all the maps. And then I was like, oh, I should just put some Black famous person over the map and kind of like overlay it so that face still comes through it, and and highlight the red parts. And it's real simple, but I think the message comes across good too, because it's pretty and it's simple that you can really see like, oh man, these areas are still bad, and those areas are getting gentrified now too. So I just wanted to make something nice, but also make a point about it. Sort of like comedy. I just want to make a point and present it in a nice bow tie so people can eat it and deal with it.
And when did you first hear about redlining?
When did I first? I mean, I had heard about redlining. Has always been one of those things where they mention all slavery, Jim Crow, KKK, redlining, and I'm like, what is redlining? You know, like nobody ever talks about it. And then I read, I started reading like Ta-Nehisi Coates' books. You know, he wrote that book Between the World and Me, and I started reading his stuff. And then he put out an essay about redlining after I read one of his books, and it broke down redlining in Chicago. And yeah, and I found the maps, and I thought this would be cool to do. I didn't think it would blow up. I mean, you know, I didn't think it would blow up like it did, or people would buy the art like they did. But yeah, it's been really cool, and yeah, it's just
awesome.
Yeah, it's really nice for people to just have your art up in their house.
Yeah,
it's not
absolutely.
even the money is cool, but for somebody to have a picture you made,
it's like seriously to appreciate
Chris Red, Saturday Night Live got one of Red's pieces.
I mean,
oh wait, on Saturday Night Live, one of your pieces up?
When they were doing the at-home Saturday Night Live, and they'd be like, Chris Red, and then they would focus on the Basquiat picture that I made right behind it.
Oh wow, I gotta look that up. That's beautiful, bro. Congratulations on that.
Oh,
you
thanks,
know,
man.
This is what I was gonna say. What I get from them, and you know, everyone has their own interpretation. That's the beauty of art, right? Like the artist creates something with something in mind, but obviously that art can affect other people in a different way, right?
Totally.
So what I see, or what I get from your art, especially with the redlining, and then with the superimposed images on top of, you know, prominent Black figures, it kind of speaks to, even with the restraints, even with the boundaries that have been placed on us in our communities that we didn't even know about, right?
Yeah.
Even from that, we still have been able to persevere and come forward, right?
Totally.
To like shine through and break through those barriers that people have set for us, right? So it's almost, it speaks on so many levels of like, if even when you try to box me in and try to put me into it, I still can break out that box, or we can still break out of that box
and create great art for the world.
Exactly.
Not just, you know, and it's, you know, I just really love the conversations that have come around it. When I did the art show in LA, which was super fun, just the conversations that people are having, you know, the groups of people was like, I didn't know. I was like, dog, I didn't know either, you know?
Right.
And it's all right, you know, because some people, you know, some friends, and that's why I like comedy too, because it just, comedy is so diverse, man, and like it's the ultimate skateboard crew. You know, we got everybody: Black, white, Asian, gay, trans. You know what I mean? Handicapped. You know, I mean, like everybody. So, and those conversations come through, and it's beautiful, man. You know, I got so many friends of just so many different, and friends too, like loved ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's great. It's great.
Yeah, yeah, man. That's awesome, man. Congratulations on that series, man. It's a great idea,
Thank
and
you,
I'm glad to see that it's going well. I need to get one. When you opened your door, I saw that Richard Pryor in the background. I was like, ooh.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, that's a rich. My girl, Janelle, love that one. Yeah. But just let me know what you want, man. You know,
you got it. Well, you got to tell us. You got a website? Yeah.
GregEdwardsArt.com.
Okay, there you go. So we'll put that out there. Maybe Sal can put that on here when we edit it.
Okay, what are you working on now? Can we get back to that one?
Yeah.
Before you go?
I'm trying to learn animation.
Oh. Yeah. We're seeing that.
Which is hard, so tedious. It's like starting comedy. You know, it's like and I'm getting there step by step. But yeah, I'm just making shit, man, just drawing stuff. I don't have really a concept thing that's popped up right now because it's hard to just come up with like a really good concept. So I'm just drawing and making stuff and putting it up there. And when a concept comes, it comes. I found some records the other day, like somebody had just threw out a bunch of old, I guess they're like 32s. What's the small records?
Oh, the little ones, 32s.
And I found a bunch of them when I was walking my dog. So I grabbed a bunch of those, and I'm gonna get some wood, and I'm gonna make a Stevie Wonder out of those records. I'm gonna make like a piece, like a Stevie Wonder piece out of the broken records. I'm gonna like break them up and then like make a cool looking Stevie Wonder out of them.
Wow.
So I'm doing just shit like that. Trying to
That's
find
awesome.
Yo, man, this dude just throw out an amazing idea, and he goes, "Yeah, some shit like that, just create some piece that ain't nobody ever thought of before."
I'm trying to do more. I'm trying to do more like I find stuff on the street and make art out of it. Like
repurpose it.
Yeah, I found like somebody had threw out these old rugs, and I'm like, okay, let me cut out these rugs, and that could be the water. And I'm like, so I'm just, and my I'm not trying to do so much because I don't want my wife to be like, yo, you can't be breaking all this.
You bring garbage in the house.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't be bringing dirty rugs, and you gotta
like I want to play with my garbage.
Yeah, put that in the garage. Yeah. You can't put it on the front yard because then you look homeless, so you have to put it to the side of the house or something. Hey man, you know what? I just read, I think it was in Denmark, but an artist just got paid $83,000.
I saw that.
Right. For his art, we call it art display or whatever. And the dude put up a blank canvas.
Which is just such an asshole move, man.
It is, right? And he was like, yo, this is
my
my
idiots
art.
who paid him?
Well, no, he's supposed to create a piece, right? That's the whole thing with art. Yeah. He's supposed to create a piece, but then he took the money and put up a huge blank canvas, just white, and said, "This is art." Right?
He called it like he called it the make your money and run. That's what he named the piece. So trying to it was just a major cop out, and it just like, come on, man.
That's robbery, bro. That's
straight up robbery.
That's straight robbery.
Following him home.
I mean, but he does have a point of how corporations are robbing people from not paying people. I get the point of it, but yeah, man, for the people if you're at the point where people are paying you $84,000 to make some art, that's a major slap in the face for all the other artists that aren't getting that money to make something that they want to make.
Yeah, who really truly want to make something, right? Yeah, who want to use that money. Because the reason I bring that up is because I'm like, if you're doing something large scale like that, then it would be great if you could get with a museum or whoever it is, some art house, and they could fund that for you, or at least provide a space for you to keep your materials, your raw materials, to create whatever it is you want to make. That way,
Yeah, I mean, that would be that's the dream, man. Just to be able to do art, man. Like, that's really truly the dream, is to be able to do art and be able to do stand up and support my family on that. That would be dope.
On your artistry, your creativity.
That would be. I wouldn't ask for nothing else.
Right.
I'll be wearing Crocs.
Crocs. See, that's how I know you're a different generation, because it ain't no way you're gonna catch me in some Crocs.
That's how different I'd be though, Reggie. I wear only white t-shirts and yellow Crocs.
I would sit in the back of the room. I would watch you on stage in a white t-shirt and some Crocs, and I'd be like, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's the fearlessness.
Man, you better never wear any Crocs on stage, dude.
Nah. That's not sober talking, people. That's all that is. I've just been sober too long at this point.
That's funny.
It's starting to back up again.
Man.
All right.
So
anything else, Reg? Man's gotta go back to work.
Man, I always want to talk to Greg about everything, man, because I'm curious about everything. But
I'm so glad y'all doing this, man. This is great.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Y'all are the best.
Awesome.
Val and Reggie, you motherfuckers. Val and Reggie. I got stories, both of y'all.
Yo, I was thinking about, remember when you and I and Kamal did Sonoma State? Remember that? I got a picture of us on the stairs leading up to it. I think it was right after the show that I took it. Because you opened, I featured, and Kamal closed it out.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah.
I got a picture from that joint,
man.
Yo, man, and it was a little road trip because I drove, so I picked you guys up, and the three of us all went up there together. And that was just a fun night of just three black dudes with three distinctive styles of comedy, intelligent and funny and smart. And Kamal, I remember how Kamal was if he felt like he didn't have a great set, but but it was still fun, man. We had a good time. It was good stuff. So
I love watching like Kamal squirm, and it's just great. And just being the young one. I did a show the other day, and I was like the oldest dude in the room. And And I opened up, was like, hey man, I used to be the young comic.
Yeah, man, we all been there. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there's times I'll just, you know, I'll go to an outside show or whatever every once in a while. And I'm looking around, I'm like, yo, man, these dudes is like kind of been there, done that. And, you know, you're in LA, Sal's in LA. So a lot of guys that I was around early, right, that I kind of came up with on a lot of different levels, you know, Kevin is down there. Everybody has moved on. You know what I mean?
Gone.
Everybody's gone. And so it's a whole new era of cats up in there. And they're nice. I take nothing from them, right? They're nice, they're funny. But you don't have that same history. I'm just saying they're good. You know what I mean? I'm just saying they're good. But and not having that same history, it's a little different. Like if I show up somewhere and if I see, you know, if I go out and I see a Matt Morales or Tinkle's in town, or even Joe Tobin at this point, or when Kevin Shea comes up, I go see. So every chance I get, whenever some of the old cats come up or out and I have a chance to go see them, then I absolutely do it, man. It's just, you know, it's like that's so
it's the beauty of stand-up, man. Yeah, man. I miss everybody. I miss those old times and the freedom of just young and just trying to have fun and seeing your friends succeed and, you know,
dude, hanging out.
Great. Hanging out, laughing,
I mean,
joking people.
Oh my God. Look, I tell anybody in a heartbeat, like being on stage is great. I love being on stage. That was always fun, right? Telling our jokes, telling our stories. And we all heard each other. We knew each other's materials. We could all do each other's jokes. Easy. But the best times, honestly, are like in the green room, in the back of the room, after the show, ribbing each other, telling stories, right? You know, one person holding shop, right? Standing there telling their thing, and then somebody else being like, man, he's still talking, right?
people say that a lot about you, man.
Oh, man.
He's still talking. Or
I'll never forget when I was hosting for Patrice and Steph Sanders was featuring, and you would come every night to hang out with Patrice and y'all would talk, and Patrice was just stonewalling me that whole week, man. And you would, when y'all would go and talk, you look at me like, oh no, man.
You know, hold on.
It was hilarious.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think I've ever said this on any platform before, but I used to love Patrice.
Yeah. Right.
Like comedically, that dude was a genius, right? Talk about fearless. He said whatever was on his mind and how he felt, but he was always able to back up his opinions and his ideas, right? Even if you didn't agree with him, you couldn't argue with his logic behind it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as much as we hung out, as much as we talked, Patrice would always be like, man, how come you ain't opening for me? How come you ain't on this show? How come you ain't featuring this show? And I would always be like, hey man, Patrice, I'm too nice, bro. You ain't gonna like me. I was like, you off stage, that dude would love me. But on stage, that dude would be like, man, you nice ass motherfucker. Like you friendly ass. He's like, he would have been like, tell the truth. Tell him how you feel about these. Tell him how you feel about all this. I was like, man, we better. I think this friendship and relationship is better suited if we just keep it strictly, you know, off stage, man.
I was like a puppy dog, man. Like I would see y'all would just go off and walk away. I was like, oh, come on, man. Come on. I can't hang. Oh, this is terrible.
Man, you know, but you know what though? The thing about Patrice and I met Patrice, and I think this really solidified it, was I met Patrice in New York on Broadway, walking out of Caroline's.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I walked out of Caroline's. He was walking by with his manager, the two of them, and I had just seen his Comedy Central Presents.
Yeah.
So when he walked by, I'm looking at him, and I was like, man, I know this dude from somewhere. And I kind of said his name in passing, like, Patrice? Like, is that you? And he turns around, he's like, yeah, what's up, man? And he sees me, you know, I'm coming out of Carolina. He's like, you a comedian? I go, oh yeah, I'm a comic. I'm visiting from San Francisco. And he was like, okay, cool. How long you been doing it? And I told him whatever. And I said, yo, man, I saw your special, man. You're hilarious, man. I was like, I'm a fan for life at this point. And so we just connected on that early. right? In that moment. And then when he came to San Francisco, I was like, yo, I got to go see this dude. So I'm sitting, you know how it is. We sitting right there by the bar, by the curtains at the Punchline.
Yep.
I'm sitting there. He walks in through the curtains and he sees me and he goes, Reggie Steele, what's up?
Wow.
I said, man, you remember me? And he was like, man, this is Patrice. He's like, yeah, nigga, I met you in New York. Come on, man, stop, whatever. And he goes in the green room.
I remember this. I remember this whole interaction, dog.
Oh, okay,
I was there sad. And just like,
what happened?
Oh, well, Patrice did that. Fuck with me that first week I worked with him. He didn't fuck with me at all. But the next time I worked with him, he was hella nice to me. But that whole week,
yeah,
I remember him looking through the curtains to see Reggie Steele. And I was like, this motherfucker know Reggie.
And he's never saw you perform, Reg?
No, not at that point, because I met him in New York.
Oh, but you eventually opened for him.
No, I ended up not working with him. We never ended up working together.
He doesn't even know if you were funny. You could have just been bombing on stage.
Well, he knew I was funny from the standpoint of like how other people responded to me. Yeah. Right. Like it was one of those things where he's like, okay, I haven't worked with this dude because he Kevin Shea was opening for him for a while.
Yeah.
And was open for him.
Transformer shirts.
Exactly. so whenever we were around each other, and then how other people responded to me, it was kind of that thing of like, all right, so everybody fuck with this dude. You know what I mean?
Funny.
And when he and I talked, we would laugh in that situation. So but yeah, cool. Man, I remember he went into the green room. In that moment when I said what's up, he went into the green room, and it's a headliner's room. I ain't gonna go in there, so I just stayed.
And it's small. That's a small room.
And he's a big dude too. But
yeah,
I just stayed sitting on my bench. I mean, on my seat, right? And the dude went to the green room, closed the door, and then he opened the door. And he opened the door. He was like, "Hey, nigga, what you doing? Come on, man!" I was like,
"Dog, look, man." It's like I had video cameras in my eyes. I was sitting right beside you.
That's
now you.
Not you. And I was like, damn, dog. And I remember Molly was like, oh, Greg, don't worry about it. It's okay. I was like, man.
Though, I'm glad you're here to confirm that, right? Because like I could tell that story and no one's ever questioned me about it, but that like have you be like, oh yeah, nah, man, that's how it
that's exactly how. Because he went in there, he was like, oh, Reggie Steele, he dapped you up, then he went there. And then I was like, oh man, because I was starting to talk to you. I was like, oh, you know Patrice like that? And you was telling me, like, oh yeah, I met him. And you couldn't even get out. I met him in New York because he opened the door. I was like, the fuck, man, come in.
yeah, that's it, man. Dude, that's crazy. Man. You know who else I met like that? I met Wanda Sykes in New York on 5th Avenue. I'm walking out
killing it right now.
Oh, dude. I walk out the Sean John store and she's walking down the street. This is back when Sean John was shit, right? I walk out with my Sean John bags, right? Got me some shirts and some jeans. I'm in New York. I gotta get some. And she walks by, and I'm like, I go, Wanda? Same thing, Wanda Sykes. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, oh man. And then I end up working with her. When she came to San Francisco, it was me, Keith Robbins, and her. And we had a great week working together. And I got a great story about that too.
Reggie would make $5 million in a year if he decided to move to LA. Because first of all, Reggie could just walk into people and be like, "Oh, Chris," and it'd be Chris Rock. And who's gonna be like, "Yeah, man, whatever." When they see you,
yeah, it's different with Reg. It's weird. It's different.
Yeah.
Oh man, you know what? All right, that's it, man. We're gonna have to. Maybe we should do a show where I get to be. I'm the one that get to be interviewed, huh?
Hey, I'm down. I'll interview. I'll come on and interview Reggie and Sam. Oh man.
All right, I'm gonna let you go, man, because we've been holding you up for a minute. But I gotta. There was this. I forget what podcast you did. It was a Black something podcast with you?
Oh, Black Stage podcast. I'm bringing it back too.
Okay.
I'll get y'all on so we can cross promote.
Oh man, that would be great. The Black Stage podcast. He and Kevin Avery on there chopping it up, and apparently I came up and he sent me the audio clip. I think I gotta find that audio clip. But you sent me the clip of you and Avery talking, and you said something about, man, Reg could have well, you said, man, Reg know everybody or something. He be having these stories, like he'll say something like, yeah, I knew Whitney Houston. I gave her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation in Africa one time.
You know everybody.
That's funny.
Everybody love Reg.
Yeah, he's like, Reg be having these stories, man. Just I remember once when I was a Baptist preacher in Oklahoma.
I do remember that. And Reg looks like he's about 32. But Reg to live, what a life.
About 8 lives, bro.
I was watching House Hunters International, and somebody was in Lafayette, and I was like, "Oh, Reggie used to be there."
That's funny, man. That's funny.
That's true. I used to be there, man. So, yeah, man. Well, AG, man, this has been fun, man. I swear.
Thanks, fellas.
Yeah,
man. Great seeing you, Greg.
Yeah,
congrats on the show too, man. Congrats on the podcast. Keep doing this shit, man.
Thank you, brother. For sure. Hey, we appreciate you coming here, man. We love you.
Love you too, Sally. Let's kick it, man.
For sure, man. For sure. Stop by to come whatever. All right, yeah.
I'll come by the show too.
I gotta come see your dog too.
Oh man, you gotta come to the house, man.
Yeah. We didn't even get to the dog. Yeah, that's man. Greg's new best friend. I saw more pictures of the dog than I've seen of Greg on IG.
You don't even know, man. I love this dog.
Dude, you got the dog on there with his legs wide open.
I'm so in love, man. It's sad.
That's beautiful, bro.
That's good.
Hey man, well, keep doing your thing, man. We watching from afar, and we support you 100%, man. And we know whatever you want to do is gonna happen, man. It's all
love y'all, man.
Love you too, bro.
Love y'all. Anything y'all need, hit me up. All right, fellas.
Yes, sir.
Greg.
Have a great day, bro.
Peace. There it is, Reg.
There it is. There's another one. What was DJ Khaled? That's another one. And another one. So man, Greg is you talk about history, creativity, artistry. The dude's an actor, a comedian, and now he's doing art. It's like
he's picking garbage up on the street and turning it into art.
Turning it into art. Well, hold up though. We didn't
rugs
even talk
though.
about...
I don't know about rugs. It's like
I know you don't want to. Got all kind of insects, but we didn't even get into the fact that he's a writer for a show on Comedy Central. Like that's his job right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, what is he writing on? I thought he was doing something online, internet. He was grabbing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he finds videos online, and then he writes the jokes about those videos, and then those videos end up on the show.
What's the show?
For. Man, it's one of them Comedy Central, online video shows where they show, they show the videos, people falling downstairs. Now this guy was looking for blah blah blah. He's like,
that's right. It hates the social media, but he's feeding the social media.
He's got his thing. So
he's making money. It's good.
Yeah, man. It's great to see G, man. Great to see him thriving, and yeah, man. Love that dude, man. He's a good brother, man. He's a good dude.
He's good people.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. And then next week you got Avery coming in.
Yeah.
Our usual time next week?
No, Avery is going to be earlier. So, for us recording, it's going to be earlier, but we got Kevin Avery coming, 2-time Emmy Award-winning writer for Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. He just hit me up yesterday about something that happened that he's excited to talk about. And I wanted to delve into it, but I was like, no, we're gonna wait for the podcast and we'll discuss it on there.
All right, cool.
So yeah, he got some things going on. He's currently writing for The Great North. They're on their 3rd season.
Right.
And so we're gonna have him on the next show. So tune in. Am I signing this out? Is this it?
Yeah, sign us out, dude.
Okay. So thank you so much for all the listeners and the people who've been watching. Once again, we love doing this. We hope that you enjoyed it. Keep tuning in, subscribe, tell your friends, pass it on, whatever the case may be. That's Sal Kalani. I'm Reggie Steele, and this is Spitballin.
Boom.
Peace.